Doctor.
That just sounds better, right? Even if it's not your true title.
Yeah.
I like Dr. Kovach.
I like Dr. Kovach. It kind of reminds me of that old TV show, ER.
Uh-huh.
And there was a Dr. Kovach, or Kovach, they called him.
Really?
Yeah.
It makes me think of Tiger King with the guy who owns the big zoo, and he's doctor, I forget what his last name is. I'm like, what's he a doctor? And he says, spiritual sciences.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. We're doing a different format today, which is even more exciting because it's been a while, Ryan, since I've had someone in the office. And I was just telling Ryan when he got here that, I have been occupying the Amplified Minds headquarters by myself since March of 2020. No one has come into the office, and I've been by myself, rotting away. He sees my pile of trash stacked in the corner and all my unopened boxes, and we're just hanging out. But I am super excited. I'm going to tilt our microphone down right at our guest. There we go. But welcome back to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. My name is Jon Kovach Jr. I'm your host, and I'm the president of Amplified Minds and the founder of what we now call the Champion Circle, a networking association that helps you win at every area of your life through excess amounts of accountability and a focused group of people who are going to be relentless about your success. Now, as we lead into this, Ryan actually is our guest today, and Ryan today marks as the person, the individual, my friend, who has been on our show the most, more than anyone else, which is awesome. This is your third time.
Yep.
Yeah, and that passes up two professionals who've been on my podcast before, but pretty exciting. and the reason why is he is so awesome. Every time we talk, there's something new, something amazing, but something really, really beneficial to everything that we talk about. There's knowledge, there's health, there's incredible opportunities. There's just all these things that are available to you to help. And I want to introduce my friend Ryan by first giving a quick story. So Ryan, Ryan is a health expert, and he's a coach, and he can kick your butt in shape and do a ton of fun stuff. If you follow him, which you should, follow him on Instagram or follow him on Facebook, and you'll see him doing these kickboxing workouts and all these really cool things that are helping a lot of people with their health and with getting in shape and so forth. But I wanted to tell Ryan that in February, right before everything shut down, I said, okay, we're going to have to quarantine, and what's one thing that I can control? And I said to myself, you know what? The one thing I can control is what I put in my body. And so my wife and I decided to go on, not a diet, but a lifestyle change. We cut out sugar. We cut out bread. We cut out a bunch of things that were just bloating us up. Milk and cheese. I know it was a horrible thing to get rid of cereal. We got rid of a bunch of stuff. And for 40 to 60 days, we went without it completely. And my life completely changed. I didn't change anything else in my life other than what I was consuming. And I lost 30 pounds.
Wow. Very nice.
And there's not even 30 pounds to lose. I was getting bloated in my face. And shout out to my good friend, Jeff Griffin. Jeff Griffin texted me in March. And he and I have this great relationship. And Jeff said, hey, bud, you doing okay? And I said, I'm doing fine. What's up? And he says, well, I've just been watching your videos, and I can tell that you've been stress eating. And my cheeks were all these bloated out and stuff. So anyways, enough about me. You guys, I want to bring to the floor Mr. Ryan Walker, everybody.
Well, thanks for having me on, dude. Yeah, it's funny you say that because you sit round in the face, which that must have been a fun phone call. Yeah, I've been watching your videos, and you look a little circular in the face. But, oftentimes that's an indication of inflammation. Elevated inflammation in the face will present itself in the face. And it's usually the first thing that people notice. Because a lot of people, when you encounter them, they don't notice immediately the midsection. They see the face. That's what we're always communicating with, right? Just talking in each other's faces. So yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I wanted to today, announce the exciting news that I've started my online health and fitness coaching business.
Yes.
So super excited about that. Couldn't be a better time to do that. And in a sense, I'm kind of grateful for, obviously I'm not grateful for COVID and everything that's happened, but for the opportunity that it presented to be able to kind of realize, okay, well, what direction are we moving in? How can I connect with people, and what's the best way to do that? And it's through this online platform. It's actually an app with, kind of all the programs available, one-on-one coaching, different things like that. So it's given me a time to reflect on, how I can better serve people in a more convenient manner.
And this is pretty cool. I know you've been working on this for a very long time, at least since we last spoke. And this has been a baby, an incredible earth project of yours. And you've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, especially through the ups and downs of the market and economy right now. Tell me a little bit about that journey. Tell me a little bit about what it's taken to bring this to fruition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, honestly, you're talking to somebody who's been plagued by chronic indecision for most of my life. And, there's been a long time, like you said, it started out as a baby, right? Now it's a little more than an adolescent. It's a young adult now.
Yeah, there you go. It's voice is squeaking.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's in the puberty phase. So yeah, it just gave me time to reflect. And as I told you, just to get vulnerable for a minute. I went to a really dark place, psycho-emotionally. I was just in a very dark place, and it gave me some time to just reflect on, okay, I can either get very myopic on what I can't control, which I think is what a majority of people have done, is we feel so out of control, and to a degree we kind of are with the broad scheme of things. And just as you said, well, what can I control? I can control what I put in my body. And what I want to do, and not to veer from your question, but to speak to the audience today, is to get people thinking less myopically about pursuing a health and fitness program as just simply changing the aesthetics of your body. Correct. And the foods that go into your body, but how it projects and manifests itself from the inside out, and doesn't just change you, but it changes all the different components of your lifestyle, environmentally, socially, spiritually. These are all components that we need to take into consideration when pursuing a health and fitness program, not to just simply, tone up the booty or, build the abs, but, being conscious, placing conscious awareness on our daily habit patterns and changing those day by day, and having something to look forward to every day, or else you just wake up and you're so fixated on the current political climate, the whole COVID situation, you become overwhelmed with that. So yeah, to just kind of, speak to your question a little bit more, it just kind of hit me. It was about 2 months into this thing, and I thought, you know what, I can stay fixated on what's going on in the world right now, or I can take, total personal or extreme ownership, right? And I can, I'm also a big fan of Dr. Jordan Peterson, right? Yeah. Take on personal responsibility and watch that as a ripple effect, not just affect my life, but my friends' lives, the family's lives, the community, the world, right? And create this kind of ripple effect of change.
I love it. And you reminded me of, and thank you for answering the question, but I appreciate the vulnerability and how amazing that is. And I want you to know that not only many of our listeners, but just many people out there right now have gone through or are going through that same feeling of indecisiveness. And that's just so important that you've shared that, because a lot of people are also experiencing that. I want to transition, because something that you said reminded me. In our Champion Circle networking groups, we are currently, depending on which group you're in, but we are currently studying Think and Grow Rich. And in the second chapter of Think and Grow Rich, he talks about, and we talked about this in our book study the other day. He talks about the Vikings, right? And when they arrived to go to battle, they turned around and they burned their ships behind them.
Burned the boats.
Burned the boats, right? Yeah, and they did that because there was no other way,
right?
But the path before them, so that they could pursue it. And it just sounded like that you made this decision that you're already in, that you're going, and that this is the direction you can and should go because of where the world is at right now. And that an online option and an online coaching and training will be something that will really, really help people. But that was you burning the ships, saying, it's got to be this. I got to pour my life, soul into it. People get mad at me when I say this on stage, and people love it when I say this on stage, but I say there is no plan B.
Right.
There is no plan B. Move forward. And I love that about what your story was hinting at, which was the fact that we do need to burn our ships and move forward in the direction of things that we're so excited and passionate about. What are you most excited about in this launch? I mean, obviously getting it to launch, getting it to fruition, but like, what are some of the benefits, features, ideas, activities, things that people get to look forward to? Like, highlight some of the really cool things that will be a part of this.
Yeah, and to just speak to that a little bit, what you just said about burning the boats, you know, it's, for example, my stepdad, right? He's been invested in the stock market his entire life since he was 20 years old, you know, and he took an early retirement from Delta. They had lost over 30 or 40 billion dollars as a result of this whole shutdown. So the reason I bring that up, even though it's kind of dark and depressing to think about, is you don't know what the future holds. Right. So why allow the anticipation of what the future may bring, which you have no control over, allow that to dictate your actions and decisions now? Another big piece that got me to pull the trigger on this. I mean, I went all out. I even went as far as to trademark the brand and logo with the USPTO, you know, which cost me, you know, $500 to do that. But you know what? I realized, you know, my whole life has been leading up to this moment, you know, to pull the trigger, to take action, to build a business where I can empower others. And, you know, to talk a little bit more about the features and different things like that, what I really tried to do is get people active in the WiFit is the name of the company, WIFI, like Wi-Fi with a T at the end of it. Doesn't sound great, but the logo's cool. It encapsulates the online training, right? But I don't want people to think that it's just physical fitness, because just as I said, you know, pursuing health and wellness is an umbrella, right? We have this umbrella, and under that umbrella falls all of the different lifestyle components and factors and the whole spectrum. So to give you an example, okay, let's say I want to lose a certain amount of weight. Okay. You know, for you, in your example, you had your wife who was doing it alongside you, right? So your community, your social environment was conducive to you optimizing your health and wellness. So you can see how the social factors, the friendships, the relationships have to change to support the health and fitness. Again, why I don't want people to get myopic on the idea of it's just me changing my aesthetics. No, you're changing your entire social environment. You're even digging deep into some spiritual beliefs, which, you know, this whole thing has really brought to fruition for me is, you know, when the whole world gets swept out from underneath you, your whole paradigm of the world, the way it functions, is swept out from underneath you. It makes you stop, pause, and reflect on, okay, who am I? Why am I here? What are my inherent traits, abilities, skills, and how can I contribute to that to the world, even in a time like this? So again, I go off on tangents, but getting back to what you're saying, you know, trying to get people in the WiFit community Facebook page. What I'm trying to do is get people actually to take action every single day. And that's what I would encourage the audience to think about today is don't wait for the conditions to be perfect. Just as we saw, right? People investing in the stock market, waiting for the perfect conditions for the retirement and when they're going to get paid out. And again, everything just gets swept out from under you. So take action today. I don't care what it is, whether it's, you know, being mindful of moving a little bit more, you know, to get your iWatch out, go do 10,000 steps today. That's not something that requires preparation. It's just action. So that's what I'm trying to encourage is action. And I already have a whole database full of just, you know, pre-designed workouts, 12-week programs, you know, male fat loss, female fat loss, male muscle gain, female muscle gain, booty builder, whatever. I've got a whole, you know, database of these workouts, also one-on-one coaching, and just trying to get people engaged, you know, in any way that I can. And again, to not just focus on the fitness, but, you know, get into that community. And one of my goals is to get on do like a Facebook Live every, say, Friday or so, answer questions, check in with people, make sure, you know, that you're adhering to the program. And if not, well, what can we do to get you to adhere to the program better? So yeah, I'd like you guys to think of it as an online health and wellness community. Encouraging one another to, you know, maybe, hey, you know, I'm going to start this program, find a friend, get them, you know, in on it with you, and put your time and energy into that, versus again, fixating on, you know, the conditions of the world right now.
This is one of the reasons why I love bringing Ryan on the show and why I love interviewing him, because Ryan gets it, you guys. Ryan gets the transformation in oneself is not only a personal movement, but it is a community movement. You've got to make that change in every area of your life, including those who you associate with, those who you hang out with. Luckily, with MyFit or WiFit, we've got opportunities for you to meet and build with people around you who are doing the same thing. And that's the kind of stuff you want to do. That's why we run networking events. That's why we do meetings. That's why we do masterminds. You surround yourself with motivated people, people who are on the same track. I absolutely love that factor. I think that's just so, so important. I wanted to touch on one thing is that as you begin the process of changing your life, your lifestyle, your health, whatever it is, there's a level of discomfort. And that discomfort is what we call tension or what is the restriction? I'm looking for a different word here. There's a type of training that has to do with resistance. There you go, resistance. Okay, resistance training. And so we just moved into a new condo, and I have not been able to get the pilot light lit yet, so our water heater is shot. And I remembered this morning, I don't have hot water. And I realized, okay, well, I'm gonna have to take a cold shower. Well, cold showers in the morning after a cold night are really cold, right? But I realized something, that this action of discomfort is actually going to do me a service of good, because it's gonna wake me up. It's gonna make my senses heightened. It's like giving yourself an adrenaline shot of coffee. Like it is so nice to actually take cold showers, but it's that level of discomfort and being okay with that versus saying, you know what, I'm just gonna put it in a bun and throw on my t-shirt and just go to work. Like I could have done that, but the level of discomfort was okay with me enough for me to start down the path. And I think that that's a good invitation to our listeners and to everyone else watching, that discomfort and resistance, when faced with the right attitude, can help you go a long way. And what would you say about that in regards to joining a community of people who are all making change, but the discomfort of getting started and taking the first steps? How does that affect people or influence people?
Yeah, well, first of all, Grandpa Wim Hof would be very proud of you with your cold shower. So,
that's right.
Even though there's maybe a 30-40 degree difference between the water he gets into and the water you got into, but
iceberg floating.
Yeah, exactly. The discomfort piece, I think that's what gets people so overwhelmed by the thought of pursuing optimizing their own health and wellness, the idea of adopting an exercise program or changing their nutritional habits, which is why I always encourage people to make small little changes over time, because as you know, those small changes accumulate into life-changing directions further down the line. I mean, it's just like the whole straight line example, right? If you just move it a degree to the right over time, linearly, it moves in an entirely different direction, right? So what I encourage people to do is, again, just like I said, take that action. It's something as simple as getting out and getting 5,000-10,000 steps in today, right? It's a level of discomfort because it's outside of the habit formations that you've created for yourself, but it's small enough and manageable enough to start moving in a new direction. And over time, it just becomes a habit. It's like one of the habits that I've adopted recently that is just, it's become the highlight of my day. Is I wake up in the morning, I have my coffee, and I sit down and I read. Right now I'm reading the Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard, and I journal for like 10-15 minutes. And what I do is in the journal, I talk about, what were the kind of wins that I endured the day before, because we can, so oftentimes not realize how much productivity we've actually had in a day until we stop and reflect about it or write about it or tell ourselves about it. And then I talk about, okay, well, what are some of the setbacks and how could I have handled that better? Again, getting off track here a little bit, but the discomfort, just think of it as small little minute changes that you can make every single day. And before you know it, a year from now, you'll be completely transformed. Your habits will be transformed. And to not get too overwhelmed with the macro scope of the direction you're moving in, I think it's always good to build from the top down. Yeah. Right? Here's the macro view. Here's where I want to be in 5 years. Now let's break that down. Okay, in a year's time, and month to month, what do I need to do? And week to week and day to day, and how can I build up those micro phases leading to the macro phase? And the reality is that's what it takes. I mean, Jeff Bezos, I was watching an interview with him, and, when they were interviewing him back in the 80s, I think it was. And, he's talking about how he's running all the packages to the post office himself. And it was just these little steps. And now, it's a global empire, right? I mean, it's one of the wealthiest man in America, or the world, I think. Probably not the world, but you get the idea. So that's what I have to say about the discomfort, the growth phase is don't get overwhelmed with it. Think of it as just tweaking it just a little bit. And by tweaking it, it requires you to be consciously present and aware of those changes you're making, because the way we fall into these habits is through an unconscious process, right? Like, I don't think about waking up in the morning and brushing my teeth. It's just ingrained in me because that's what I've done for so long. So you might think, oh, I'm going to do my 10,000 steps today, right? And how long can I do this for? But it gets to the point where it becomes an unconscious habit pattern, a behavioral pattern, that you get to the point where when you're not getting your steps in, it interrupts your flow, your day, right? So I'd say that's what I have to say as far as lending advice toward the struggle and the growth phase.
I love it. You sparked one thing, and I just have to share. You were vulnerable enough to share something that you were going through. I'm vulnerable enough to share some of my secret hobbies. And you guys, I'm a grown man, and I do appreciate some Pokemon. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And I know this has nothing to do with our conversation, but I love getting off track with Ryan because there's some funny things. But anyways, the way I've programmed my 10,000 steps per day is that I leave my Pokemon app the Go app on, and when I get my steps, I flip it on at the end of the day, and I've gotten rewards. I've gotten some pretty cool stuff. And like most people are like, well, why don't you do rewards that matter? Like steps equals, like fit money or discounts. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
I just like the virtual reward at the end of the day. So anyways, I'm just weird like that. But I've conditioned myself to realize that if I don't step, if I don't get up, if I don't walk around and get up, then I'm not going to get those fun little rewards that I appreciate on a virtual level. So very nerdy, very weird, but yeah, there we go. I'm a closet Pokemon fan. Don't even worry.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Everyone knows
closet now.
but I want to get back to you because that last segment really transitioned into what we do on the show and what we do on the show is we talk about some pieces of knowledge, and you were really alluding to some pretty cool stuff. Obviously, we want to talk about the program. We want to talk about what you're launching and what you're launching it through, which is super exciting. Let's talk a little bit more about what knowledge you want to implore on our audience today. What is a piece of advice that you would give where people are at now with the world and its state right now? What's some advice or some knowledge we want to just give to our listeners so that they can move on, move forward, progress, all of the above?
Yeah, again, I would say, taking on that personal responsibility, that, again, putting into perspective what it is that you actually have control over, and understanding that by you taking personal responsibility, just as we talked about kind of the broader scope of things and this ripple effect, by you taking that personal responsibility, it doesn't just affect you, it does in the short term, but then over time you become a reflection of self-discipline, of determination, of ambition. And again, another reason I love Dr. Peterson, who talks so much about this, is just that idea of taking on that responsibility and watching it kind of ripple out into the world, into the community. And that's another reason why I love, the idea of, optimizing your own health and fitness specifically, because, when you, not only are you improving your own self-image that you have, you feel really comfortable in your skin, you feel proud of what you've accomplished, but you also encompass this visual of, when I see somebody who's really in good shape, they're fit, obviously I think, oh, that guy must lift weights, or, and again, this is kind of more on the superficial level, but I'm using as an example, what you don't realize is that person is getting to bed on time. They're managing their schedule. They're spending time with people that empower them, that don't drag them down. For example, I had a buddy, lifelong friend, and even at the age we're at now, I'd go and hang out with him every now and again. And it was just Call of Duty and drinking beer and eating pizza, and I thought,
which is fun.
Yeah, which can be fun, right? Like, let's, have a day out of the week where, we drink beer, eat pizza, and play Call of Duty. But, ultimately, if I'm surrounding myself with people in that kind of environment, I have to ask myself, is that conducive to what I'm trying to do? And, So yeah, that's kind of what I would like to encourage people to think about is, understand that by getting selfish, you're actually serving the community, your friends, your family, the world more, because you're able to show up more powerfully in the world, when you're able to just kind of be selfish with your time for a little while, focus on yourself, focus on your strengths and building those strengths so that you can ultimately show up stronger.
I love that. That is an awesome message. I wasn't expecting that either. That was really cool.
Bam.
Yeah, that threw me off. Like that's really.
Take that.
Tell us a little bit more about your program and where we can find it, how to get a hold of you, and what would be the step or the process for my listeners right now, or those watching us on the live? How would they get a hold of this or find this or just get oriented with what you're talking about?
Yeah, so I sent you the link yesterday. I'm sure we'll put those in the show notes and everything. But basically what I'm offering is a 2-week free trial for everybody listening right now. I set it to expire on the 22nd. And the reason I did that wasn't to be a jerk. Well, that's part of it. No, I'm just kidding. But I did that because I want to inspire action in people, right? Because I can download a fitness app, health and fitness app, whatever, or buy a program, and it can sit there collecting dust or not being used for weeks, months at a time. So what I did was I set it to expire on the 22nd. So that way, give you guys some time to go in there, get set up. It's free. And the reason I did that is I want people to get kind of familiar with the app and see how it functions and whether it's a good fit for them. Maybe some people don't like the platform and maybe they want to go a different direction, which is fine. So I want to give people that opportunity to get on there. It's 2 weeks worth of workouts. I've even integrated some foam rolling, soft tissue mobilization, stretching. I'm also a licensed massage therapist, so I really understand the importance of soft tissue mobilization, stretching, and making sure that our joints, connective tissue is healthy. So you'll go in there, you'll get 2 free weeks. At the very end, I put a document in there that has all, links to all the programs that we have available and my personal information, contact information for one-on-one, and also a link to the Facebook community page. At the very least, I'd love it if you guys would just join the Facebook page or the group. I'm calling it more of a community because that's what it is I'm trying to engage with you guys on a weekly basis. I'm going to shoot for daily and make sure that everybody is connected and that all answers or questions are being answered. And if there's any confusion as to how maybe the app's working, I can always continue to build. What I've been doing is building these tutorial videos on nutrition, and right now I'm working on one on how to actually work out your caloric intake based on your goals, whether it's do you want a caloric surplus for gaining muscle or gaining weight, or a deficit for losing weight, and how to break down your macronutrient intake and different things like that. I'm including all of that in the Facebook group and as a file in the app. So anybody who has the app or is signed up with the app will have access to all of those files and information. So my goal is to just empower people with as much valuable content and information as possible. And we live in a world that's just inundated with videos and information. I know it's so overwhelming, but I just ask that people join the group, get involved in the community, and ultimately I want to have, I have big visions and goals for, the direction the company's going to move in, and really getting people engaged in challenges and, community outreach work. Again, it's a lifestyle change. It's not simply just changing your fitness. This is just a component that falls under that umbrella of lifestyle spectrum. So keep that in mind.
I love that. And I wanted to share that those of you watching on the screen here, I'm watching this live on my phone, and now is a great time that if you have any questions for Ryan, health, strategy, any questions about the program, now is a great time to ask them, because I can ask your question to Ryan in Q&A format. So take a moment here, throw in any questions, comments about what we're talking about, and I can relay that over to you. So I wanted to let you guys know. And if you're catching this replay, still, please, I tag Ryan in almost all the things that we do with him, and he will be able to answer your questions. But also, what I love is the combination of the system, like the process, plus the community that you've involved. And a lot of people take for granted the power of a Facebook community. I know a lot of people are a part of Facebook groups. I know they're a part of very, very, let's just say a lot. I said very, very, and that was like the wrong adjective. But people are a part of many groups. They're a part of many organizations and communities. But one of my favorite things, and I've recognized this over the quarantine of COVID and everything, is the online community strength and capacity. People are resilient and they're helpful, and it really does influence your life when you change your lifestyle from hanging out with nasty negative people online to hanging out with motivated and inspired people. And that is a huge difference. And his community is obviously that more of the latter. It's the inspired and educated and motivated group of people. Talk to me a little bit about, while we wait for a few questions to roll in. By the way, hi Christy Jones and hi Willie Blake. Thank you for the compliments. Yes, Ryan is a sexy man.
All right. I got to get on here more often. Yeah. This is like my ego's like.
Now you know why I go live every day. It's my ego.
Thanks, y'all. I'm sure y'all are very sexy too.
There are some things that you mentioned. There's obviously some workouts, some files, some opportunities in the community. In your opinion, what's one of your favorite features?
Yeah, I really love the files because it's where I can continually update people that are using the app with new information, new content, more actionable content, right? So, I can drop, say, for example, like a PDF document that shows you kind of portion sizing or, nutritionally dense foods or, immunity building supplements that I might recommend, especially in a time like this, right? And by the way, exercise is really going to improve your immunological and antigenic responses to, viruses and bacteria and different things like that. So, right now exercise is a great way to kind of build your inner capacity to combat these kind of pathogens that are floating around. So, but, just more information, just dropping it in there and keeping people connected through the app. And what's really cool is there's a feature to connect, say a Fitbit or, your iWatch, different things like that. So that way, we can do walking challenges. All right, guys, let's try and accumulate 10,000 steps.
I love that.
I love it, right?
Favorites, yes.
And then, come back to the group, 7 p.m. Let's, talk about the experience. What were the setbacks? How can we navigate around those? So yeah, there's a tremendous amount of features to the software. I'm very excited to be able to connect with people through that. And I would also recommend right now, I have open spots for personal coaching, and I've actually made the personal coaching very affordable for people. And I'll just say it right now, I charge $150 a month, which is crazy, right? Crazy low, and affordable because, well, one, I want people to be able to afford coaching. And, I'm not having to go to a gym like I was last year. I was paying, $600 a month just to use a facility. So now I have the convenience of being able to work with you, online. I can check in with you every week. That's kind of part of the coaching package is development of a program, consultation, free consultation, listen to what your goals are. What can we do to move you in that direction? Not just from a fitness standpoint, from a lifestyle holistic approach. Check in once a week and, kind of modulate the program as needed. So yeah, those are, some of the features that I'm really excited about. The Fitbit integration piece, I actually haven't ran with that yet. I've got some friends who are kind of beta testing it for me to make sure that it functions well and that it's something that, obviously you want to make sure that you beta test something before you, here, let's all do it. So, but yeah, those are some of the features that I'm really excited about.
I usually on my shows and in person, I usually don't fixate on price, but I wanted to talk about that 150 because that is phenomenally low. Yeah. And obviously with the market and where everyone's at, people are saving their money a lot more with COVID and uncertainty. But I think it's fascinating too, because I've done this with my mastermind groups with people in person. That is a no-brainer because I promise you that if you cut out 2 or 3 small things that you really don't necessarily need in your life, you've already afforded the 150 a month. But 2, you're just cutting things out that you don't really need for something that you absolutely need. Right. And I think that's just such a cool thing because that is I'm just saying, I don't like to fixate on prices, but 150 is a no-brainer. It's just such an awesome opportunity. And I love that. Like even most of you like to get your morning coffee or you like to get something, just cut that out because you don't need it anyways. Cut that out and here you go. Now you've got something that's going to change your life. Now you've got a community, and it's just by making decisions. It's those micro movements to create the macro results, right?
Absolutely. Well said.
I freaking love it. I just quoted you. So.
I knew that. I knew that sounded like it was just packed with wisdom. Where have I heard that from?
Where have I heard that? It was like deja vu sitting in this chair. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. So there's, another function, too, is, I have a chat feature in there, too. So if you guys have any questions, I can be in not constant contact, but, in contact with you if you have questions about the app, or if, you know, we're doing personal one-on-one coaching, you have a question about something, just hit me up through the chat. You know, I can send files over, tutorials, whatever it is to kind of help you along that way. You know, I think the more connected I can be, the better, especially in this time where we have all this social distancing. So yeah, just keep that in mind. A lot of really cool features. Again, why I encourage you guys to go to the link, download the app, do the you know, do the 2-week program, and just get a feel for how you like it, you know, navigate it. I also have, you'll notice at the beginning of the program, there's an update. You can put your measurements in there. You can put your body weight. You can do, you know, before and after photos, whatever. There's, it's just, it really is like the full software to really help you guys from a health and wellness standpoint.
And does it, I mean, we're going to be posting the link in the show notes and here in the comment section, and I'm going to put it in the actual post for this Facebook Live. But does it have does the program or does your coaching have a name? Is there a name to it all, or is it just all part of you?
Yeah, so it all falls under the WiFit, you know, umbrella, the,
cool.
You know, business umbrella.
WiFit, W-Y.
Or W, it's W-I-F-I-T. So it's like Wi-Fi with a T at the end of it.
Cool, Wi-Fi T.
Yeah, exactly.
WiFit.
Yeah, WiFit.
It's like a play on words. It's like, why should we fit? Why fit?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because when I was telling one of my friends about the name because it just hit me, and what I was trying to do was encapsulate, okay, it's online health and fitness, and it's online, right? So that's how we came to W-I-F-I, like Wi-Fi. But yeah, it's, you know what, I'm off track. You asked me a question just then, or did you?
Oh no, we were asking about the name, but you answered that.
The name,
through
right. And you know what I'm hoping to do here in the future, I'm in contact with some really good friends who are also very experienced health and fitness coaches to come on board. So you know, I've got a girl who I've known for quite some time. She's amazing, and maybe you feel more comfortable working with a female.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to bring her on potentially as a trainer. You know, again, it's a little adolescent. You know, so it's not in its infancy, adolescence right now as far as the business development goes. But in time, we're going to have quite a few different things to offer. In fact, very exciting, this Friday, I'm going to visit my friend Mary Gwen, who owns Rise Boxing in Park City. She's an Olympic boxer. She is a badass. And so what we're going to do is actually film a bunch of content, and we're going to piece together a 12-week at-home boxing conditioning course. And then ultimately, we're going to do a masterclass course that you can, if you want to learn boxing techniques, defensive techniques, it's all going to be long form video instruction that'll be available soon.
So fun.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So fun. I mean, and not to get off track, you guys, this is why I love Ryan. Ryan and I, our brains work the same way. We get super excited about things, and we don't get off track. We just place things on hold while we bring in the rest of the world and then come back to the track. That's the way I describe it. But I love that because, you know, I have actually found a new love and appreciation for at-home working out, for at-home exercising. I do a lot of yoga. I do a lot of my resistance training, my weightlifting. I actually, with Uncle Donald Trump, stimulus check, I decided I was going to invest in my body. So we went and bought a weight set and a bench. So we got the free weight dumbbells, and a bunch of stuff. Anyway, so we have that at our house now, which is fun. But I've just really have grown to have an appreciation for virtual and at-home working out. And I'm sure a lot of you have too, because you're looking for solutions, which is so cool. And to know now that there's boxing in the ring, like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. I actually have a full 12-week course that's all at home fitness. So it's everything that you can just do at home. And, you know, it's difficult for some people to get the motivation to actually do an at-home workout. So what I'm going to launch here pretty soon is a partner up program where I encourage you to find a partner, and then you both sign up and you do the program together. So that way you have some accountability, because I think that's why group fitness is so powerful, because there's that accountability and that community aspect. So that is available actually now if you want to find a partner. Again, in that document at the end of the 2-week trial, there's all the links to the different programs, or you can just, you know, message me or email me and I can send you through the links, whatever's easiest for you. But yeah, at home fitness, it's, you know, it's kind of the new transition. And, you know, don't think of at home as in your living room solely. I mean, you can get outdoors, and I would actually encourage you, get outdoors, get in the sun, you know, get your bare feet in the grass. If any of you are familiar with earthing or grounding, right? That's incredibly powerful. In fact, fun fact, fitness fact, health and fitness back, that when you get your bare feet onto the earth's surfaces, you actually draw electrons into the body. And what are electrons? They're antioxidants. So a great way to improve your health: get in the sun, get your vitamin D, build up your immunity, especially in this time, with exercise, sunlight, bare feet on the earth's surfaces. I mean, it's like a 1, 2, 3 combo. So
I couldn't wait any longer. I went and grabbed the link and I threw it into the comment section. For those of you watching live right now, it is already in the comment section, and I will post it into the post as well. But go check that out. It's facebook.com groups WiFit. Super simple, super simple. So even if you go into the search section, WiFit, WiFit, like Wi-Fi with a T, you'll find it. But facebook.com groups WiFit, which is awesome because most groups are just like some long number.
Right.
There's so many groups out there, but
yeah, it's true.
So
and what I would encourage you guys to do too, if you go to the group, and I hope you do, please tell me what it is that you would derive the most value from. Again, we live in this world which we're just inundated with information. A great quote I heard, that we're drowning in information but starving for wisdom. And I just ask that you get vulnerable. You ask me what it is that you genuinely want and need to improve your health and wellness, and I'm going to work tirelessly to provide that, because it's sure, it's my business, and I'm trying to make a living, but the human connection, the service and support that I can give you is ultimately what brings me the fulfillment in this path anyway, is the connection, the human connection. So yeah, let me know what I can do. Get involved in there, drop comments, ask questions.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for your time. This was really great. I don't see any additional questions, but I want you guys to go check out that link and to go follow it. I know I will. I'm very, I didn't know about the boxing thing. Now that I know about it, I'm like, that sounds fun.
Yeah, that'll be this Friday. We're filming, and it'll probably take another week to build the program out and get it up live. So
yeah, I mean, my dogs need a beating, so I'm just kidding. I do not endorse that. I'm just kidding. Actually, I was late this morning to Ryan's interview because of my dogs. It's just that's why it was relevant. Nobody knows that.
Sorry, I don't think anyone from PETA is watching. Right?
No,
Okay,
please don't. I have awesome dogs, and they love me. Anyways, Ryan, thank you so much. And I have to do this every time I end the show with you. I don't do this with everybody, but I just have to compliment you. I know that you've been going through some awesome changes in your life and what you've been working on, and you've come a long way. And even if you guys look back and go back to, I think it's like episode 23 or something, we interviewed Ryan for the first time, and we took the time to talk about and we broke down metabolism, and we talk about habits and food, and then we get into a little bit of knowledge on just exercise. And then in our second episode with Ryan, we talk a little bit more in depth about some of these programs. And I think if you replay that, which we should, I'll send you the link. But if you replay that, he's just beginning this online workout journey. And between now and the past, there have been such transformational outcomes that Ryan has been doing, and we have to take the moment to applaud him and to give him that gracious congratulations, because he has worked so hard on this. And the people that he's partnered with, he's had to take some uncomfortable decisions and partner with people to help him do this and help to make this to come to fruition, to say. And what a powerful example of battling through the opposition, to battle through the trials that have come in our lives. And I'm so proud to be a friend of Ryan's, and to know that there are people and entrepreneurs out there who are doing things like this, like he has, and to do it in a way that's so helpful and so inviting. Not once has he said, for this time and this time only, and this offer, will you get it? This right? Like, yes, we did put an end date, right, to it all, but
22nd, yeah.
But at the same time, he has been so helpful and so encouraging to you in your health. And the reason why there's an end date to it is because we want you to take action now. Stop delaying. Stop saying, well, I'll do this when something in the future is about to happen. No. Stop delaying your life and start taking action, and you will find absolute value and truth. And I just wanted to embody and emulate that for my friend Ryan here, because he does a good job of that. He's taken the time to take action, and though things take time to progress and build, he's done so in such an awesome way. And so I'm super grateful for you, and super grateful that you've come on the show. And today he hit the moment where he was the #1 most interviewed person on the Circle of Knowledge podcast. But the thing is I'm going to invite them back. I'm going to want them to come back, and I'm going to want them to follow up, and I want them to share stories from what you guys are experiencing and understanding and overcoming through the app and through this experience online. And I just want to say thank you.
It's awesome. I really appreciate the kind words, man. And yeah, it's always great to be on here. I'm looking forward to the next time. And
Yes.
One other thing I wanted to offer, because a majority of people who watch the show, I would imagine, are very self-development oriented people, very ambitious individuals. And if there's anybody out there who is a health and fitness practitioner, maybe you've been doing personal training, anything like that for any length of time, I would also like to invite some personal coaching to kind of run you through the same process that I've ran through. If you want help in trying to understand how to get your business and services online, I'm working on that as well. So anybody who, is in the health and fitness or wellness industry, and you want to learn how to kind of move everything online, I'd be happy to work with you on that. So, keep that in mind as well.
Tara, Leisha, Dan, Michelle, you guys all know who you are. I know you're watching. You're all watching, and you know who you are. You health professionals. Reach out to Ryan. This is a great opportunity to work with and partner with people. This is why I do masterminds. It's because you take a bunch of people in the same space, all working on the same thing, and absolute incredible outcomes are created through the collaboration of others working in the same space. So I freaking love that. So that's why, man, hands down, awesomeness.
Well, and let this meeting right now be reflective of how we talk about the importance of surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I haven't been this charged and energized and excited and kind of in this flow state for months, because I haven't been spending time with people like Jon who are like-minded, which, is a lesson to me, to, and to all of you, right? Start surrounding yourself with people that are conducive to goal building, to support your ambitions. Because whenever I'm around him, it's all of a sudden it's like go mode. I'm excited, and this energy. I mean, I didn't even sleep that great last night, and all this energy is just it's just coming out. So yeah, let this be kind of serve as an example, as the importance of surrounding yourself with positive, like-minded people.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And the same goes to me. I also didn't sleep well last night, and I had to pick up literally dog poop off my floor, which was why I threw out the dog slur before I got to this. And, just hanging out with the right people changes your energy immediately, which is another testament to why you need to go and join that community and surround yourself with people who are action-based, who want to win and want to change their lives. So again, Ryan, thank you so much for your time. Everybody, thank you for watching or listening. If you're catching this on the replay, our podcast is the Circle of Knowledge. You can find it anywhere on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and anywhere you listen to your podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. Now, if you go to my YouTube channel, which is Jon Kovach Jr., you will still find all of the Circle of Knowledge podcast episodes, plus a ton of other stuff like sales training and some of the meetings that we do at our Champion Circle and the activities. I put a lot of my keynote speaks on there, and there's just some pretty great content. But all in all, we want you guys to stay connected, just continue to help us and motivate us and push us to give you the content that you need. Again, this is a world full of content, and you choose the stuff that to which you want to consume. So this is a really exciting time. So again, thank you for joining us on the Circle of Knowledge podcast. This has been another live hour. I'm going to end our live on 3, 2, 1. Thank you. And stop that live stream, and then stop the recording.